All you motherfuckers that dropped out of Ranger School and now women are passing Ranger School, it fucking burns you up and you hate it. It absolutely emasculates you.
That's a funny dude. That's some funny stuff. But that's also a very wise man and a good guy to follow. But let me tell you my Ranger School exploits. I went to the Army Ranger course about 45 years ago. And I was 21 years old and was a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. And we had to qualify to get these quotas by, because we didn't get a lot of quotas. I think in my Ranger class, I have about 220 people. There might have been 3 or 4 of us. And we were from different units all over the country. And came out of Okinawa. And in order for me to be able to qualify to go there was a competition, and it was like a 3-day deal where you had to navigate and do some shit in the water with blowing up your pants and all kinds of shit. You had to really be able to swim, and we did this long forest march and finding these boxes and all kind of shit. And the winner got to go. And when I got down there, I realized that the people that were attending that course were all people that had done, competed, most of them, to get a quota. I guess I don't know how the Army did it, but I know we did. But this was this was the most difficult training that I did in the Marine Corps, first physically, because they starve you. A part of the process, you're going to starve you. They're going to make you so freaking hungry and sleep deprived that you get under total duress, and you have to perform these really precision missions while you're freaking out and jumping on airplanes and rappelling and doing very accurate navigations and shit. So it's challenging. And then you're constantly switching positions. But when we came down there, they told us one of the things you're going to need is bring 12 pairs of boot strings for your boots. Not to change boot strings, but to tie all the shit onto your body when you went on a patrol. So if you went out on a patrol, you took the compass on your H harness and you tied it on to your H harness, right? You took your helmet and you tied it onto your H harness, the weapon, everything got tied on because you got so sleep deprived that it was like hallucinations and you would leave shit. Some of us would be walking around with a weapon dragging behind you. You got that sleepy, talking to people that weren't there and shit like that. So this thing was really, really challenging. But what I want to tell you about is that you're talking about people that dropped out. And I had one part where we were up in the Dahlonega Mountains and I got a machine gun, an M60 machine gun, 22.3 pounds, whatever the fuck it is. It weighs some weight with a rucksack of 65 pounds, whatever it is, and a spare barrel bag, which normally you didn't have both of those. I had both of those. And I fell down this ravine, this really deep ravine. And when they came in to rescue me, and once I fell, I got all this shit tied on, remember? And once I'm falling, all this shit breaks loose. It's not breaking loose. It's just not attached to me. I'm not holding it. So I got canteens hitting me in my helmet, the machine gun. I'm bleeding. I thought I busted my knee at first, but I was able to get up. But they had to rappel down and pull me out of that thing and put me on this, immobilize me and make sure my neck is stabilized and all that shit. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get some food. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing for a moment there because I was fucking walking around like a zombie. And then it occurred to me, they might drop me out of this fucking thing here if we're or worse yet, recycle. So you got to go back through the phase you just went through. And I was like, fuck that. So I go, they're pulling me up on this gurney, and I'm going, hey, let me up. But I'm cool, I'm good. And the medic's like, nah, no fucking way. But by the time I got up there, and the helicopter's on the way in and shit, and they're arguing with, I said, no, I'm fucking not going. Fuck it, I'll just run. And they let me up. I was all fucked up. There was a mistake because I still have some of the residual shit from that incident right now. But I got up and we weren't even halfway through the course. We still had to go to Florida, I think. And I made it through that son bitch somehow. But it was so important for me not to drop out of that fucking thing. For one, pride and ego. But also, that course, that's like a fraternity. It's a big fucking deal for a Marine, for anybody to go through there. It's some tough shit. And I'm sure it's way different than it was when I went through, but anybody that goes through that thing, my freaking hat's off to them because it ain't no fucking joke. And I'm happy I went through it. It was like a rite of passage for me. Yeah, Rangers lead the way, motherfuckers. black and gold. If you ain't know, we couldn't wear these tabs in the Marine Corps. So what we would do is sew them on the inside of our, when I was back in, on the inside so nobody could see them. But when we saw a tabbed Ranger, we'd flap it up and go, Rangers lead the way, baby. Hurrah! The deuce says.